Namaste. Pur Namaste. And welcome to the art of the word that I am from the heart. Love is not a word. We know that. Love is truthful and sincere from the heart. Joyful giving of the heart. Freedom. Spontaneity. Natural from the heart. That's love. And there's no such thing as forced love. If you are forced to love, forced to be natural, forced to relax, you know what? If you are forced to love someone, you will blame yourself that you cannot sincerely love them, and you will hate and resent the one that you love. That's how it is, and it cannot be no other way. For love is truthful and sincere from the heart, given as joyful giving from the heart, and this shit forced love. Love is freedom, spontaneity. Force is control, resistance, force to change you, to mold you, to make you do what you want. So, forced love cannot exist because force and love cannot exist together. I say no wonder there's so much mental disease in this world. Why? You must be natural. You are forced to be natural. Natural or forced. You must be natural. You go crazy. When children are traumatized with these things, they go crazy. You must relax. You force yourself to relax. Relaxation and force. Control. Relaxation is let go of all control, let go of all force, but you must relax. That's all a Zen comedy. So you see what kind of nonsense is. Entire world is Zen comedy. You must be free. I'm forcing you to be free. Force, control, and freedom from the heart. You cannot be forced to be free. You can be only free. Forced to be spontaneous. Forced to play. Like children, they are playing so beautifully, so wonderfully from the heart, now joyfully playing. And then the visitor comes, and you parents, you want to show off the children how they naturally play. And then give him toys. You must play now. You must play now. And you expect that they play spontaneously, naturally. And you force them to play spontaneously, and they don't know what to do, because playing spontaneous comes from the heart. When they feel like then they start crying and throwing shit around. You know, you are forced to love as a child, but you sincerely and truthfully do not love your grandmother. You don't like her smell, you don't like her energy. It doesn't feel right to you in your heart. This is how you feel in your being. And you must love your grandmother. Good children love their grandmother. You must love your grandmother. And then you are forced to love your grandmother. But love is coming joyfully from the heart, spontaneously, when you want to love. Child wants to play. Child loves another child. Child loves you. It comes spontaneously. But forcing children, they forced to love, and you expect that they naturally love their grandmother. So what happens is that they don't love their grandmother, they don't feel right, like they feel forced, and they resent her, and they do all kind of pranks and disrespect her, and poor woman didn't deserve this also not. The child is getting traumatized. It would be better to tell the grandmother, I have only one child, not two. You are getting a little bit, how to say, dement. You have dementia. I had only one child. What are you speaking about? It's better to do that. You will save the grandmother from trauma. Because why this child so ugly to me? Because the child is forced to love the grandmother. And you will save the child from resentfulness, from hate, and from mental disease. Because when you force children to be as you want to be naturally, when you force children to love, children naturally feel love is the recognition of what feels right in me, is the recognition of who I am. They feel this is not right for me, it's not who they are. And love was child sincerely doesn't love grandmother. The love is like cats, to leave the grandmother alone so you don't hate her, so you don't resent her, so you don't blame her. And because of that, because this is happening in first 7 years of a child life, the child is literally getting programmed with all programs, and then child is forced to love, and then all your life, because of this, you force yourself to love those who you don't feel like loving. They don't feel right to you, but you must love. You are forced to love because still you are a child, and good children love their grandmother, and this was subconscious program. And now you blaming yourself when sincerely somebody doesn't feel right to you. Your soul is telling you, get away from them. They are not resonating with your energies, the recognition, they are not right for you. But because your parents with forcefully making you to love forcefully your grandmother and that kind of shit, and forcefully play, they made you to blame yourself when you sincerely, truthfully feel no in your energy, to sincerely, you blame yourself for who you sincerely and truthfully are. And this is what it is. And that's how ego was created, from this kind of things. Ego blames you that you are not good enough if you don't love that person on Facebook that you don't even know who the fuck they are. And they just want your energy. But you must be loved, because good children still must love their grandmother. And then what happened? You blame yourself only that you cannot love them, and you hate the another. Just see. Just see. Just see. That's not love. There's no forced love. And all your life you blame yourself that you cannot love, and you hate the one and what you should love. You know, I'm a Zen master, I'm an artist, and I'm a child. It's really difficult for me not to be spontaneous, but thanks love, I was spending since 18-year-old in meditation, working on myself, so I'm disciplined. This is what Zen masters do and artists we do. We force ourselves to play naturally, like in the city I have places when I can play and time when I can play, and I can just adjust to this, and then I kind of force myself. But it's difficult. It's difficult when they told me you cannot play on this spot. I feel my freedom is getting obstructed. So the artists always learn, oh, now it's time for show, and I have to play spontaneously, otherwise they say it's fake. So you see, forced love doesn't really exist, huh? So you see, because of how your parents bamboozled you and raised you, blamed you, you must be yourself, you must love your grandmother, you must sincerely love. Now you blame yourself all your life that you don't love those who are not right for you. And then you get married, and then you promise that you will truthfully and sincerely from the heart love them all your life. But love is truthful and sincere from the heart, joyful giving from the heart. And after 5, 6, 7, 10 years, you don't love them anymore. They feel like, this is just my grandfather now. and you don't truthfully and sincerely love them. And you cannot, because love is joyful giving from the heart. But you have promised that you are forced to love. You must love your wife and your husband truthfully and sincerely from the heart all your life. You are forced, controlled, forced to love truthfully and sincerely from the heart. And love is freedom and joyful giving from the heart and gift, and cannot be forced, gift of love, and cannot be controlled. Now what happens? Again, same thing. You say, they ask you if you love them. I am doing my best, but I'm doing my best to love you. So, guilt. And that guilt, ego, blaming you that you are not good enough because you're forced to love them, but you cannot be forced to love them. The ego blaming you. You see? And because you don't love them, and your ego blaming you, you're suffering for them, it doesn't feel right to you, you are traumatized, now you blame them, hate them, resent them, create very bad karma, and you call this love because you're forced to love. But love is joyful giving from the heart, there is no forced love, and that's why it is what it is, and what it is suffering. It is suffering, suffering, suffering. And you know that in the Bible, you must love your God, Lord, truthfully and sincerely from the heart. You must love God truthfully and sincerely from the heart. You see, you must. You are forced, controlled to truthfully and sincerely from the heart love God. Again, forced and controlled. But love is spontaneous, joyful giving from the heart and must be sincere. First of all, you don't know yourself, you don't know God. And you're forced to love God. And that God that you are forced to love, it's represented to you as controls, forces, manipulates, judges. You don't know God. You don't know yourself. And because you don't know yourself, you don't know God, your ego blaming you for who you are, blaming you that you should love God. You have to love God. You're forced to love God truthfully and sincerely. How can you truthfully and sincerely love God if you don't know yourself and you don't know God? This is like a Zen koan, everything. In Bible, so many Zen koans I see. It's only designed so that you see this is not possible. You cannot be forced and controlled to truthfully and sincerely love who you don't know even. Then in separation from self, your ego only blames you that you don't love God, then you are a sinner. You see, it's insane. And I feel this is only there so that you realize that this is not possible. You cannot forcefully love because you don't know yourself and you don't know God, and you are forced to love God that controls, forces, manipulates, judges, and that's the same ego that blames you that you are not good enough, that you don't love God. And that's the same ego that blames God for who for you are the source that I am. And then you realize that you must love yourself. You must love yourself. And then you truthfully and sincerely love yourself. And you know yourself, you are loved. Sincerely and truthfully, you love yourself. Now you know God. Now you love God truthfully and sincerely from the heart. You didn't know God outside of you, but in loving yourself truthfully and sincerely, you can do that. You can love yourself truthfully and sincerely. You know yourself, you are not your mind, the ego blaming you for who you are, but you are the source that I am from the heart, source of all sources. And now you love yourself, you know yourself, now you love God truthfully and sincerely from the heart. You have to love yourself truthfully and sincerely from the heart first. And then whatever feels right, you truthfully and sincerely love. This is truthfully and sincerely love. What you're forced to love, you don't love anyway. Somebody forcing you to go against yourself, forced resistance that you must love, and that's suffering. That's suffering. And then you know yourself, source that I am. You are that love. And in loving yourself, You know yourself, you know God, and you know that another one is also God. And now you love others as you love yourself. You don't do to others what you don't do to yourself. You truthfully and sincerely love God from the heart with no force, because you truthfully and sincerely love yourself. You know yourself, you are love, and now you really love God. You love everything and everyone. You are the source that I am, huh? It was all a joke. You have to truthfully and sincerely love yourself. Love is truthful and sincere. Whatever feels right to you is the recognition of who you are, is love. And whatever doesn't feel right to you is recognition of who you are not who you are. And if you are forced to love, you only suffer, you only hate. And other forcing love upon you. You see that lady, Stacy. 12 times she told me how she loves her. Always I wrote an article. Always I made a video. Always I told her what Jesus would tell her, what Buddha would tell her. Hey, I'm a spiritual master. This world is suffering in attachment, in guilt and fear, in control and resistance, in not respecting energy from others. Don't tell me that you love me, but love me, and please don't say, for I ask you not to say like every spiritual master and even Jesus would, that you think that I am. And I'm asking you not to say. Love is unconditional respect of uniqueness and authenticity of energy of another with no resistance and no force. I made a video, I explained to her like a master, right? The Jesus would not be able to explain to her better. And she always came back, I love you so much. I love you so much. And this is something I think if she bamboozled, because I'm a Zen master. I'm teaching people how to get free of guilt, fear, attachments, religion, seeking God outside of themselves. She never likes this. She likes only pictures of dogs and the poems that are similarity to Jesus. So she actually thinks that I'm Jesus, and she thinks that she has to proclaim her love to me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm not. I'm Purna. Source doesn't make copies, and whoever the fuck I was, past lives, they are all dead, so it doesn't matter. I'm Purna here living in St. Thomas, who would believe, crazy as that I am. And I always try to tell her, love is unconditional respect of uniqueness and authenticity of energy of another. And I cannot let you to force your love here and tell me that you love me when I tell others that please don't tell me that, and they respect me and love me for who I am. That would not be fair to you and to everyone if this woman would be allowed to do this to me. What is beneath my level, what no spiritual master allows, and everyone would say same as I do. If I would let her, out of guilt and fear, I don't have an attachment, I would give my power to her. But again, by blocking her, I took my power away. I took my power back. She forced love, and I was always telling her, love is unconditional respect of uniqueness, energy of another. Everybody else respects. This is love. Love, God respects free will. Stop saying this and love me. Love is not a word. And stop saying this and truthfully, sincerely loving me. You will love me. And now you're forcing love. And she could not accept. Love is unconditional respect of uniqueness and authenticity of another energy. And I'm a Zen master. I'm teaching as love. I don't accept friend requests and like this. I'm actually waiting. Let people wait. Let people wait. Let people wait, and truthful and sincere soul will come on their self, on their own, in my temple. You know why? Because they sincerely seek enlightenment and see me as a master, and no other has to come here. So it is, you see. And my page is public. Everybody can enter on my profile and see all my teachings, and their answer is anywhere they mind. They try to control and be in control, and no, The answer is within them. It has nothing to do with me. I give you my word to everyone. No need to accept friend requests. The sincere souls are to come, and sincere souls are to feel a master, and they are to be eager. And I'm teaching what is love is, and what is normal to entire world was never normal to a Zen master. Normal is suffering, and in asking you to say not to love me, you don't say it and not bless me and heal me. Everybody in this world loves it, but I'm free of this world. This world is suffering. When you are not forcing and doing it again and resisting, your love is not forced. And you truly, truly, truly love me for who I am, and you respect the different, you can accept the different, what is normal for you is not normal for them. When you really know what love is, you respect uniqueness and authenticity of energy of another without resistance, without force, without need to understand. You just know that you are unique and sensitive, and I give you no trouble in your energy. So you are guest in my energy, and you respect my unique and sensitive, crazy energy. As that I am. So that was also forced love. It was not love. It was just the word. Love is a word. Love is not a word. I give you my word, and I never said one word because I live the word that I'm speaking. I give you my word. So love is truthful and sincere from the heart. You want to eat this cake, you eat this cake. You love the dog, you love the dog. You love that girl, you love that girl. You love the sunrise, you love the sun like I do. You love the sun. You see, it's so beautiful, you see. It's given joyfully from the heart with no force, with no resistance, with no control. Where there's control, force, resistance, there's no love, there's bad karma and suffering follows. Love is free of karma, free of suffering. Only when you joyfully want to give love and it feels right to you from the heart, it feels like, yes, I want to give out of love, I want to do that, that's love. Everything else is forced love and your ego blaming you that you are not love and you are love yourself. And you love really when you do what feels right to you, truthfully and sincerely, and you say no to everything what doesn't. You don't force yourself to love. But you love sincerely and truthfully, what you sincerely and truthfully love from the heart. You cannot force yourself to love. You can only love naturally, spontaneously. Force, control is suffering. Naturally, spontaneously is free of force and control. I give you my word that I am. So you can love and you can be love and know that there's no forced love. Forced love is suffering. Love is freedom, joyful giving from the heart. Just as I give you the word that I am, so you may be love. And just as you maybe will give me unconditional donation from the joyful giving from the heart, nobody forcing you, but you know, if you do is a joyful gift from your heart, you're not forced, and that's love, and I accept everything, and I'm so grateful you receive the answer within, some guidance, you get some answer within, has nothing to do with me. You've given me energy. I so appreciate. I give you all my blessing. There's something in my heart that it all go to you. I don't know. I don't teach nothing. I'm just sharing my story here. Whatever you find in this temple, whatever, you better appreciate it. I don't know what it is. I'm only writing my book here. If you find any answer and you give me donation, you are supporting this crazy Zen master. Thank you, thank you. Without your donation, there would be no art of the word, and I am flowing, and that's why I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But you cannot force anything out of me to do messenger to you, to guide you, to answer you this, to guide you in comments, to deal with that. Anyway, I like comments that come spontaneously from the heart. Mind I'm allergic to, and I stop it. Whereas a mind, there's no chance for you. Mind is shocked, mind stops, and in that moment you know yourself. You come in contact with yourself, you're not in mind. But I will not do anything here like this. But I want to give you something more, my joyful gift from the heart, love for every single donation. I do quantum white light source healing on you. and I connect with your energy. In PayPal, all I need to see is your email address, and I give you my word. I connect with your energy. You don't need an appointment. You don't need to know when. It's quantum white light source healing. You just need to know that I give you my word that I do it. And I do complete energy work on your complete being. I give you my word. It's done in same day, next day, or top in 2 days. I do it, and I always do it. And it's quantum healing. You don't need to say anything, and you don't need to say anything to me, because I'm not a medical expert. I'm a psychologist. I'm like Buddha, spiritual master, but I have powerful healing energy, and in me focusing on you, free of all afflictions and troubles, you can utilize my healing energy in the best way. But for every single donation you receive a healing. If the donation is bigger, you receive regular healings. Like lady who almost every month sends me €100, she gets a healing like every 3 days. I'm generous. What I want to give is love, you see. But no need to know anything. I focus on you being free of all afflictions. And anyway, I cannot heal you, I cannot save you. As much as you work on yourself, my healing works on you. I give you my word only that I do the healing if you give me a donation. But if you force yourself to love, you force others to love, you force to be natural, you force to be spontaneous, you always blame yourself that you are not good enough, that you are not loved. You cannot heal yourself, you cannot save yourself. But it's you just understand that love is joyful giving from the heart, and what doesn't feel right to you is not love. You have to stop doing it and do what feels right to you. Then you are love, and you heal yourself, you save yourself. I only give you my word. For every single donation, healing is performed. I give you my word. And everyone, I give you my word, so you may know love, for love is free of all force, free of all suffering. Forced love is suffering. Love is joyful giving from the heart that desires to love now. I give you my word. I desire to love now. Purnamaste, love. Purnamaste.